Good afternoon. I'm Paul Jensen, Executive Vice President, and Nina Henderson, Provost, and it is my pleasure to welcome you, our students, faculty, and professional staff, to Drexel's 2020 Convocation as we celebrate the beginning of a new academic year. This is my first Convocation as Provost, and I must say it's a distinct honor. We have many new dragons joining us this fall, and some dynamic leaders who have been appointed since our last Convocation. Jason Schubach from the Design School at Arizona State University joins us as the new Dean of the Westfall College of Media Arts and Design. At the Goodwin College of Professional Studies, Brian Ellis of the LeBeau College of Business is now the Executive Director. In the Office of Equality and Diversity, Patient Aja Foster has been named the new Executive Director of Diversity and Inclusive Culture. And at the new Center of Black Culture, Sharday Johnson moves from student life to serve as interim director. We come together at a difficult moment in history: a global pandemic, ongoing violence and injustice against Black lives, the effects of accelerating climate change. The landscape of higher education is and has been changing as well, much of it accelerated by this moment. Thanks to the efforts of many, we will soon be rolling out a new university strategic plan, which will help guide us in the coming years. The need to harness the expertise of our community and the unique educational approaches that differentiate Drexel is clear today as it was when we were founded. Systemic challenges like these require interdisciplinary perspectives and approaches. Many of our faculty, students, professional staff were already working together across the university and with our external partners to address these and many other issues, and that important work will remain a focus. Construction has resumed on the new academic tower in University City, which will house the College of Nursing and Health Professions and a number of academic and administrative areas of the College of Medicine. The nimble response of our medical and health experts and researchers from across the university in the face of COVID-19 provides a glimpse into the enhanced collaborations that will be possible when all our academic units are united on main campus. In addition to the important work that many of our faculty have been doing for years to address systemic racism and social injustice, we are also actively engaged in looking inward. We are examining all aspects of this university and will continue to do so with the aim of understanding what more we can do to foster a living, learning, and working environment that makes racial and social justice and inclusion central to our success. In a few minutes, we're going to hear more about this vitally important work. We will also continue to tackle the global issue of climate change, which many are addressing across our schools and colleges and at the Academy of Natural Sciences. Some important climate and sustainability initiatives are currently in the works, and we hope to share announcements of these in the coming weeks. These are large, complex challenges, and the work to address them will be ongoing and multifaceted. Change will be incremental. It will be important to remain focused on our long-term objectives. It will also be important to celebrate the incremental achievements along the way, to support and cheer each other on. In that spirit, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the faculty winners we were not able to honor at commencement this year. These are the recipients of 3 of our most prestigious academic awards. Honored with the Early Career Scholar Award this year were Ayana Allen Handy from the School of Education and Debjani Bhattacharya from the College of Arts and Sciences. Our Outstanding Mid-Career Scholar Award went to Vibha Kalra in the College of Engineering and Veronica Tom from the College of Medicine. Finally, the Outstanding Career Scholar Award were shared this year by Cameron Abrams from the College of Engineering and Michael Lowe of the College of Arts and Sciences. Congratulations to these distinguished faculty members and to all our faculty. The work you have done collectively in continuing our research and pivoting to remote instruction has been nothing short of amazing, and I thank you for that. To all of you, our students, faculty, professional staff who have forged on through the challenges of these months, I hope you will take this moment to reflect and feel pride in your resilience in all that you have accomplished. The change our world is calling for could not be achieved without you. As we embark on the year ahead, we pause to take a breath and refocus, and then we keep moving forward. I look forward to an outstanding year. And now it is my privilege to introduce President Frye.
Thank you, Provost Jensen, and congratulations again on your appointment as the Nina Henderson Provost of Drexel University. Good afternoon and welcome to everyone in the Drexel community, and especially our incoming class of 2020. And welcome to our Drexel trustees, faculty, and professional staff. We're starting this new academic year at a moment that's historic on so many levels. In the midst of a global pandemic, responding to a long overdue call for racial justice, engaged in a divisive political season, and witnessing climate disasters of epic proportions in the West Coast wildfires and the Gulf Coast hurricanes. Even so, I welcome the opportunity to pause for the special tradition of Convocation. It's a chance to rededicate ourselves to Drexel's essential mission of inspired teaching and experiential learning, to research that improves lives, and to the many ways of serving our community. Last year at Convocation, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the Drexel Co-op. This year, our celebration is tempered by the awareness of new challenges and the need to recognize and mourn the tragic losses from COVID-19. We have a lot of work to do, that much is clear. And we have new questions about the traditional way of doing things in higher education. What should a university student's experience look like in a post-pandemic world? How can we ensure that all individuals are seen for their skills and talents, not judged through the lens of preconceived notions or bias? And what does it mean to serve our community? As we work together to answer those questions, I think we have good reason to look ahead with confidence. At my first Drexel Convocation 10 years ago, I posed one question in particular, and I ask it again today. If Anthony J. Drexel were to walk today through our campus and into our surrounding neighborhoods, would he be satisfied that we are fulfilling our mission as an urban university? I also asked then, what are the moral and practical obligations of an urban university like Drexel to serve its community? And is Drexel University a good neighbor? A decade later, those questions have taken on even greater urgency. We've seen the divide grow between the rich, who are richer, and the poor, who are poorer. We see that gulf widening in terms of educational opportunities, income disparities, and the number of jobs threatened by technology. And now we've seen the pandemic hold up a mirror to that inequality and the disparate impact on Black and brown communities. I'm glad to say that we have a history of responding to challenges like these. In his keynote remarks at Convocation last year, Professor Scott Knowles looked back on the founding of Co-op. He noted that Drexel's then president, Hollis Godfrey, said the university needed to respond in a productive way to move the country forward after the devastating war in Europe and the deadly flu pandemic of 1918. Out of that came the Drexel Co-op, but it also set a tone for this university, one of being willing and dedicated to work to improve society. How do we respond today? I think we do that by focusing on renewing Drexel in 3 areas: learning, inclusiveness, and service. We can be proud of our pivot to remote learning since March, our enactment of sweeping health and safety measures, the smooth resumption of research by faculty and graduate students, and the launch of life-saving scientific inquiry around COVID-19. But we can't stop there. The massive disruption caused by the pandemic underscores the need for research universities like Drexel, and especially those in major urban areas that have been disproportionately impacted, to embrace their role as anchor institutions that not only act in their own interests, but in the interests of their neighborhoods, their cities, and American society. So that's why we're re-examining everything that we do, to position our university as a model of extension and innovation that reimagines higher education. As confident as I am about our prospects, fulfilling that vision must involve everyone. First, we have to fully embrace the mission our founder established for us: to create a university open to all and uniquely suited to the needs of a rapidly growing and changing society. We prize diversity as a community. That's why I'm deeply committed to creating a more just, welcoming, and inclusive community at Drexel. More than 100 members of the Drexel community, students, faculty, professional staff, and alumni on the Anti-Racism Task Force are actively engaged in examining all aspects of this university. They're working towards a set of recommendations for how we can reaffirm our core values of equality and opportunity for all. Second, we need to ensure that civic engagement, an engagement that recognizes and values diverse voices, is woven through all that we do. That was my goal a decade ago when I became president, and it has remained one of our highest priorities. Serving our community isn't simply something we do for Philadelphia. It must be an essential part of how we teach and how we learn. Looking ahead, the Lindy Center plans to expand the number of independent civic engagement projects designed and implemented by Drexel students, faculty, and professional staff. And during an election year that has generated unprecedented interest and engagement, we are making a major effort to register and get out the vote in and around our campus community, both in person and by mail. Like Anthony Drexel, we can never be satisfied that we are fulfilling our mission if all boats don't rise on the same tide. So, as we craft a new 10-year strategic plan with deep insights from members of the Executive Planning Committee, we will make racial and social justice a key measure of our success. We will also integrate academics, research, and external partnerships to help solve society's most pressing problems, with experiential learning continuing at the heart of what makes Drexel a special place. At the same time, we will work to ensure our eventual safe return to full campus life through the efforts of our Return Oversight Committee. I view our COVID-19 response, the Anti-Racism Task Force, and the Executive Planning Committee as powerful examples of what the Drexel community can do when it comes together during difficult times. And they show how our students, faculty, and professional staff can coalesce and rise to any occasion. I'm deeply grateful for this spirit of cooperation and the enormous progress that it generates. This is truly a moment that calls on all of us at Drexel to innovate, to support one another, and to strive to be the best versions of ourselves as individuals and as a community. We all wish we could be together on campus, but guided by science and expertise, that time will come. And when it does, we'll celebrate together. For now, I wish you the very best for this academic year. To share some perspective on our important work of building a more diverse, inclusive, and welcoming culture at this university, I want to now turn to our colleague, Kim Golston. Kim is Drexel's Chief Diversity Officer and the guiding force behind this extraordinary anti-racism work. She has more than 20 years of leadership experience in higher education, coming to Drexel 4 years ago from Thomas Jefferson University. Her undergraduate degree is from Towson University, and she holds a master's from Virginia Commonwealth University. I'm incredibly grateful for Kim's leadership that's so essential to Drexel's future, and I'm pleased to welcome her today.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, President Frye, both for the warm welcome today and for your strong support of our collective efforts to build a more diverse, inclusive, and equitable community here at Drexel. I also want to thank our new Provost, Paul Jensen, whose academic leadership on these issues is also so central to our success. I'm honored to co-chair the Anti-Racism Task Force together with my dedicated colleagues, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Graduate Studies, Arudis Foster, Senior Vice President for Student Success, Subir Sahu, and Senior Vice Provost for University and Community Partnerships, Lucy Kerman. I think we all sense that the country has reached an important turning point, one that fondly reflects the fierce urgency of now Dr. King spoke of. Today, we still face the challenge of how to address enduring racial inequality that has deep roots. But we're bringing a sense of urgency to our work to make Drexel the kind of beloved community that the late John Lewis kept calling on us all to build. The task force and its 11 committees are examining just about every aspect of the university. We've been hard at work since mid-July with the engagement and participation of more than 100 members of the Drexel community. Whether you attended our forum in June, submitted questions, comments, and concerns via email, phone, or other means, or an active member or contributor to one of our committees, your voice, your stories, your suggestions, and yes, your criticisms are all essential to this work and to helping ensure that we get it right. Acknowledging pain, disappointment, and hurt in your education and work environment can be very difficult. It's also difficult admitting what you don't know, what you haven't thought about or considered, and what you may have overlooked because it wasn't an issue in your world. As difficult and emotional as the revelations and conversations have been for us, they have also served as agents for change for Drexel. And that, I thank you, and I know future Dragons will also thank you. I want to report that we're moving forward and making important progress, and we plan on sending out an official update next week. As of today, our committees have submitted their draft recommendations, which we'll spend the coming weeks discussing, analyzing, and refining. Final recommendations are due by the end of this calendar year, but you don't have to wait that long to see tangible results of this work. Change is already happening. In a few weeks, we'll have a virtual launch celebration for the Center for Black Culture that will be located on the first floor of the Rush Building. As with everything else, we wish we could be celebrating this milestone together in person, but we won't let the pandemic stop from moving forward with creating and programming this special space. A place at Drexel where we can share knowledge of the people, histories, and culture of the African diaspora, and to celebrate their extraordinary contributions to the world. There are many other changes happening across the university, and I won't go into a laundry list today, but I want to acknowledge the many diversity, equity, and inclusion committees that have sprung up or taken on a renewed sense of urgency in the schools, colleges, and administrative units over the past several months. As Chief Diversity Officer, part of the job my team and I do is to lead the creation of a full diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy that will align all these efforts happening at the academic and business unit level, and to also provide educational resources, support, and training for the Drexel community. Our new Executive Director of Diversity and Inclusive Culture, Patience Adjoff Foster, has worked with partners across the university to offer a variety of educational workshops for students, faculty, and professional staff. I hope you will take advantage of those offerings, which can be found on the Office of Equality and Diversity's website. Nothing about this work is easy, but it is essential. This isn't a call to action that has an end date. So I invite you to continue to help us make Drexel a place that students, faculty, and professional staff feel welcomed, valued, and included, because we'll only achieve that goal by working together. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ted Corbin, Associate Dean of Community and External Affairs at the College of Medicine.
Good afternoon. Welcome and welcome back. And I also want to acknowledge and tell you how honored I am in representing the faculty. I'm Ted Corbin. I am an emergency medicine physician, Associate Dean of Community and External Affairs at the College of Medicine that my colleague mentioned, co-director for the Center for Nonviolence and Social Justice, which is a collaboration between the College of Medicine and the Dornsife School of Public Health. And I am a Black man living in America. I bring all these pieces of me together as I greet you. All these experiences intersect my life, my work, and my world. I'm going to talk a bit about how health, trauma, social justice intersect. I also want to reflect on how we, collectively and individually, have been good neighbors, what living as good neighbors looks like. First, we must acknowledge so much of the world around us has changed in 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic has amassed loss and uncertainty. The health of the United States and the world are in trouble. We've witnessed the hard truths of systemic racial injustice, not only by hearing about it, but by seeing it up close. There's social unrest, as it should be, which has shined a light on the fact that Black lives do in fact matter. They always have. These challenging times force us to rethink how we'll be in the world. We have to make note that stress and trauma abounds. How well are our minds connected with our bodies? Are we taking care of both? When they're in sync and in balance, they work harmoniously together. A disruption in either challenges our overall well-being. There are times one may overcompensate for the other, and that's okay. Who can be in complete balance these days? But when our own compensation mechanisms become a little tilted or overwhelmed, Getting external support is absolutely necessary. If we don't, we become depleted, stuck in despair. It's important for us to check in on people, family, friends, to ensure their safety and well-being. Now more than ever, we have to hold each other up so we can get through this together. For the pandemic, we have to do our part not to spread the virus. Get tested to know your status, wear a mask, exercise social distancing, and wash hands as frequently and appropriately as possible. Believe in and follow the scientists, the experts in this field who have been studying disease control for decades. For the trauma, heightened emotion, and loss, practice self-care, and when that is not sufficient, ask for help, healthy help. It's necessary. Poet Audre Lorde said, "My self-care is not self-indulgence, it's self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." What do these times call on us to do? I believe it calls for more than reform around the edges. We have to step outside the box and be bold in pushing for meaningful change. It's time for new strategies and new approaches to justice and health, which is why you are here, why we are here. We need you not simply redesign health, but build healthcare towards health equity. We need you not simply redesign or reform justice, but to build a new justice system toward justice equity. And lastly, it's time for a racial reconciliation in America that for far too long has gone ignored. As President Frye just reminded us, our obligation to our community, to our surrounding neighborhoods, and the people who live there are more important than ever. We must continue to build bridges to our neighbors in the surrounding community, who often are also facing challenges that we don't necessarily see. We must be an ally through this pandemic, racial injustice, and weight of trauma that presses on us from this. We all have a role to play. Where each of us stands, we must do what we can to make things better. We're relying on this next generation of scholars to be thoughtful and radically innovative about the challenges we face. Let go of yesterday's ways. Be bold and be creative. As we open this academic year, let's be vigilant but hopeful. Let's be kind and do what is right and just. In the words of the iconic Representative John Lewis, let's make some good trouble that will improve the health and well-being of our world. We've got work to do. Let's do it together. Thank you, be safe, and be well. Now I have the distinct honor of introducing my colleague, Dr. Elizabeth von Boxdale, Senior Vice President for Graduate Online Education and Dean of the Graduate College.
On behalf of the Graduate College, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all new and returning faculty engaged in graduate education, as well as our new and returning graduate student body, including our PhD students, our professional doctorate students, our master's and certificate students, and our accelerated degree students. A very special welcome to our Dragon 2020 graduate students. These Drexel Dragons recently completed their undergraduate degrees and are returning to join the Drexel graduate student body to advance their education. In true Drexel style, their ambition can't wait. Our research-intensive faculty and PhD students have also been true trailblazers and were the first to return to campus, fueled by their dedication to identifying solutions to the world's biggest problems through innovative research and critical thinking. Whether you are a fully online student or a graduate student engaging in a hybrid or campus program, We applaud your resilience and adaptability to the unprecedented challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, racial injustice and inequality, and the ever-changing immigration policies you have all experienced in 2020. Your ability to come together as a community and support each other is remarkable, and we embark on this new academic year undaunted and inspired in our quest for a more just and hopeful tomorrow. I would now like to welcome Timothy Hanlon, USGA President, to the podium.
Thank you, Elizabeth. As President of the Undergraduate Student Government, it is my role, along with that of the rest of the student government, to ensure that all our peers have successful tenures as Drexel students. As we welcome you back to this virtual campus, I am proud to tell you that this year's board is the strongest the university has ever seen and continues to represent the student voice to all levels of the Drexel administration. As many of you know, we recently worked to close the university at 2 p.m. on Elections Day alongside Provost Jensen, President Frye, and Dr. Sabir Sahu. I envision a coming year where similar initiatives of such high caliber community and campus impact will be pushed forward, accompanied by your support and testimony. To achieve this, I highly encourage you to follow us on Instagram at Drexel USGA to provide feedback to our surveys and to stay up to date on what we are working on. You can also reach me directly with your questions, feedback, and ideas via email at usga@drexel.edu. I wish you all the best in the coming academic year. To close our ceremony, I would like to welcome Provost Jensen back up to the podium.
Thank you to all our speakers and to all of our students, faculty, professional staff who are joining us today. I look forward to all that we can accomplish this year together. Have a great fall and go Dragons.